It's the Wickersham Leader Show with today's episode, Getting Jacked. Hello, everybody. It's been another whole year of streaming since I started this Twitch channel back in 2017. Lots of things have changed, lots of things haven't changed. And one of the things that hasn't changed is my love for the video game Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy. This was the first game I streamed back when the only thing I had was a Dazzle. Anybody remember those things? There were these little USB connected things that only allowed to work with AV cables. I don't know if I still have my Dazzle sitting around. I might, but I haven't used it in a very long time. It looked kind of like a little white trumpet. Kind of hard to explain. But, oh man, every year I've made a point of playing Jak and Daxter, at least initially. Then I did Jak 2 and 3, and I don't feel like doing Jak X. That game is really hard, and not to mention, the less we say about the Lost Frontier, the better. But, in the years since, there have been a number of projects that people have released to, there have been a number of projects people have released that do essentially a PC port, right? And thanks to the bunch of people at OpenGoal, they allowed me to have like a PC compatible version of the game, and including all that, I've installed a texture pack that up-reses everything pretty nicely, I'd say. Pretty nicely. And same note, there's a 360 recompiler that was just released. I did hear about that. People are playing Sonic Unleashed on PC now. I'm happy to hear that. It looks very interesting. I might give it a go myself, if I could find it. But I love this game. I love this game to death. It is by far my favorite Sony game of all time, and it just makes me really sad that the other two games in this series, while very good, aren't really in the same genre. They take a lot of what the original did well, but they also completely veered off. Sonic 06's sauce lasting your PS3 managed and barely. Oh, is it dead? Your PS3 finally die? Rest in peace. But let me just go right ahead and get this game started, because I have quite a few things to say over a regular playthrough of this game. Give it a sec. There it is. And this does have full widescreen support, which is another reason why I'm doing it like this. You get to see so much more of the game. It's very nice. But there are issues with textures. I'm not exactly sure what would be randomized. The only thing that would prevent you from going anywhere. Wait, I don't have the texture pack on? Ooh, hold on. Let me see if the texture pack is actually on. Texture pack enabled. Ah, there we go. I got to apply the texture changes before we start. Pickups, which means like the big goals would just end up being orbs. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that the game uses to stop you is precursor orbs and power cells. The only difference being that some power cells require scout flies, but most of them are just rewards for doing things. And since you don't unlock any abilities throughout the game, there's nothing really to do. It would essentially be the same game, you'd just be collecting things in a strange order. Or you just find power cells on the ground. You'll have to forgive me. I forgot to decompile and recompile the version of the game with the texture pack installed. So just give me a minute. So it would essentially just be the same game. You'd just be collecting things in a weird way. I mean, if you know, nothing stops you from going to the places you normally go to. The only thing that changes anything is when you unlock a vent, but the vents are locked to specific locations anyway. Archipelago with power cells. Huh. You also could lock abilities if you wanted to. That's true. There's the punch, the kick, jumping, double jumping, rolling. I mean, there's not a whole lot, to be honest. Their moveset is pretty basic. Alright, let's try it again. But this game is always one that I boot up my PS2 to give it a shot. Although my PS2 has been having problems lately. Ah, look at that. A lot smoother. Alright. New game. You can see I've 100% of this game a lot. Oh, another thing this game adds that I really appreciate is, subtitles. The original game didn't have them. Jak 2 and 3 do. So it's nice that they allow it as an option now.
How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose? And why did they vanish?
But you can also see, not everything is perfectly made for the new 16:9 aspect ratio.
The rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of Green Eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey, Jak, old green stuff told us
How
not
big
to
can the
come
planet be? Because everything important seems to be huddled in this little area. I mean, in Jak 2 and 3, we do see some more locations. But yeah, no, all of the sages are in this small island chain.
Continue your search for artifacts in Nico. If the locals possess
And
the precursor
if I remember correctly, that guy, Goal,
Deal harshly.
well, I guess that's spoilers, but whatever. That guy on the left, he's the lead singer of Twisted Sister.
What are we doing here anyway, Jak? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze?
I'm kind of glad that Daxter got turned into an Ottsel. He doesn't really look so good as a human. And despite their long years, they are called humans.
Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? Jak, I think we're in trouble!
Huh. I just realized we did Tak and now we're doing Jak. Where's Daxter's family? We have no idea. We do know that Jak has at least one family member that we do meet in this game. Although, given what happens in Jak 2, it's apparently an adoptive family member. I mean, oftentimes I find myself wishing what a real traditional sequel to this game would have been like. Basically, I'm blaming GTA 3 for the reason that Jak and Daxter 2 didn't happen.
The only place that I told you not to go, Misty Island.
That's right. And then
And Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
look, old man. Are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides,
People were complaining that this one was too generic.
What?
there's only one.
I mean, it sold very well for what it was, you know?
To your previous form.
Okay, about GTA specifically. According to developers, it was pretty much the fault of GTA.
Nobody has spoken to him in ages.
Apparently, you know, at least one account from a developer said something to the effect of, when they were in the early testing stages of what the original version of Jak 2 was going to be, they had some like 10-year-old kids, right? And then they said, what do you think of it? And apparently one of them said something to the effect of like, well, it might be good for my little brother. And they're like, little brother, what are you playing? And he said, GTA.
All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or two stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with
But I don't know if they really needed to do that. I don't know.
And I bet there are even
Mostly
more
because
out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventure.
it's not like platformers were completely dead. And I guess maybe people just didn't think it was interesting to have a game that was purely platforming. Although, and they always do the thing where they got a little variance, but it is mostly pure platforming.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
Although it is interesting to note that that was mostly the perception in the US. Jak and Daxter did pretty well in Japan and had a lot more unique renders and stuff made for it. Like, it seemed to be very receptive over there. When Jak 2 came out, however, they did a lot of changes to it to try to make it more palatable. And, well, I say a lot, but they didn't really change that much. The biggest change is that they got rid of Jak's goatee. But they didn't like it. And Jak 3 didn't release in Japan as a result.
Most important precursor artifact you can find. You need to collect 20 of these so I can power the heat shield for your A-Grav Zoomer.
But, hey. Had to beat this game with almost no orbs. Why is that?
Hey, you found one of my scout flies. I sent 7 of them to each area to look for power
Retro
cells,
achievements.
but those
Oh.
Zoomers must have
So
captured them
what?
all.
They wanted you to just get as little orbs as possible? It's really hard not to collect them in a lot of spots. Yeah, that makes sense. What was the limit?
That last scout fly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power cells.
That's Blue Eco, which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast, break boxes, and even activate some precursor artifacts when you get near them.
Love Blue Eco. Easily my favorite. $25 or fewer. Jeez Louise.
Notice how each Blue Eco cluster you pick up increases the time you can use its power.
But going back to the discussion about Jak 2 and the change in the series, because I'm gonna be honest, that's probably the most one of the more interesting things just about this series in general is just the drastic shift they did in between games. Was according to some developers, they didn't feel like this game had much of an identity. It felt like a weird hodgepodge of American and Japanese art styles and game design, and didn't really feel like it belonged in either place. So they heavily de-emphasized the art style that the game had originally, and moved to something a lot more Western. Which, I don't know. I like the way it looks. I love Jak's design in this, and it's a shame that I think after this, kind of became a little generic. But I guess what I consider generic and what the general, gaming public considers generics were different.
Good work. The Blue Eco caused the door to open. With Blue Eco, you can breathe energy into all kinds of precursor artifacts that have lain dormant for years.
I mean, going from the Crash Bandicoot games, you wouldn't have expected those devs to handle an open world collectathon so well, but they really did. And I guess, this technically isn't open world, but it's pretty dang close to open world, I'd say. If you're going from one place to another, I mean, this game's claim to fame for a while was that it had no load screens. You could walk from one end of the map to the other without seeing a single one. Not that they don't have things that hide loading, but they did a lot to make you convinced that this whole thing was continuous. And I think the other two games really didn't do that very well. A lot more doors and elevators and places where, yes, it's not loading, but I'm still waiting. Let me just check. Yeah, I got everything.
Good training, boys. But that's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jak? We'd love to
I really also like this game's cast of enemies. I think they're really fun and well designed. And I like how everything in the world seems to be connected to them somehow.
Adventuring? Why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
They very heavily, make an importance of all of the sages. There are 5 of them.
What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
The lurkers? Yeah, I love the lurkers.
You don't know what you're missing.
Listen, if you need something to keep you busy, my father always talked about an ancient precursor pipeline.
This game seems to kind of be operating under the assumption that the lurkers were created by Gall and Maya, but in Jak 2 it's revealed that they were not, and instead they were like a race that were enslaved.
Part of the pipeline back to the Forbidden Temple. Maybe you should look there.
And they somehow survived and gained the ability to speak. We even help them. What with Jak and Daxter having issues doing so. Daxter especially. Thought they were just wildlife. I don't know, because, when you look at Gall, he's got the same jaw design that all of the lurkers have. So they seem to be creatures that are comprised, at least partially, of Dark Eco.
Hey! It looks like scout flies are always in red boxes.
Oh, don't tell me that you two have problems as well. The first I hear of monster sightings near the village, and now this.
The thought has occurred to me that all these guys probably died instantly as soon as the next game started.
That means our village has no power. The eco beam coming from the jungle temple has been interrupted. And boys, everyone's too frightened to go out and find out what's happened.
Did you pay the bill?
Yeah. Oh, you're funny. Now look, if you two fix the eco beam,
In terms of never being used again, or literally? I mean, literally. I mean, as soon as they started that portal, all the metalheads started going through, and I have no doubt in my mind that they immediately just started killing everyone.
Campaign, I might be willing to part with yet another power cell. The minimum contribution is a very modest 90 precursor orbs.
Yeah, everybody wants 90 precursor orbs. Must really not remember a lot of the details from 2. Well, here we go. Here's this character. This guy calls himself Jack's uncle. And I'm sure at the time he actually was supposed to be Jack's uncle, but given what happens in Jak 2, that's impossible. But he's wearing a similar outfit that Jak is wearing.
But I gather that your young friend, you know, the little annoying, miserably ugly one, might have just pilfered them as a sort of a spot of fun.
And in fact, in the game's manual is a map of the entire world that the game has. And at the bottom of it, it's even signed by him. So I think at some point he was intended to be at least a little more important. He also wants 90 precursor orbs.
Hey! Little furry dude! Oh, I thought for a moment you were my muse.
You're what?
Haven't you ever seen a muse before? It's a little glowing squirrel about your size, full of spunk, and crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
As a matter of fact, without my muse, I just can't sculpt. But with her around, I see beauty in everything, you know? Right now, I couldn't chisel my way out of a box. I think she ran away to that misty island.
How did it do that?
I just hope she's all right. It's worth a power cell if you bring her back to me.
Wait a minute. We are not going back to Misty Island. Are we?
It is, I mean, it is pretty fun that the game didn't completely lose any of its fun moments. I mean, although, to be fair, Jak 2 pretty much has almost no comedy. There's a joke here or there, but for the most part, it's very, very serious. Jak 3 reined that back in a little bit. For the better, I'd say. Anyways, the first place I want to go to is Forbidden Jungle, and that's because I want to open the eco vents.
Oh my, what a horribly sick little bird.
You don't look so good yourself, lady.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were a spotted orange-bellied rainframe. You know, yesterday I saw some terribly vicious creatures capture a mother flut-flut near the beach. Now there's this poor little orphan egg sitting in a nest at the top of the cliff, and I can't get to it. If you could climb up there and push it off, I've piled some hay down at the base to catch it safely. Do an old lady a favor, and I'll give you a power cell.
No one's just willing to give it to us? Well, I guess we don't know that the world's gonna end, so it's fine.
Gotta milk those cows. Gotta milk those
Oh yeah, I forgot. This game also has a day-night cycle that happens throughout the entirety of the game.
I've been trying to get those ornery cows back into the pen all day. Some strange creatures tried to steal them earlier. You think you could help an old man and try to get them back into the corral?
Normally when I do a playthrough, I don't bother talking to anyone. Although, it's what's kind of funny is that from the way I've, like, talked to people in this game before, I almost never talked to the bird watcher. So I kind of had no idea that that's what she wanted. 1. How many were there? 4? Well, honestly, sir, if you had just punched him, it seems like they would have gone back into the cage easy. Oh yeah, you know, can't forget that this game also did a lot with its music. Every NPC you go near has its own version of music that you'll hear throughout the level. Usually with an instrument that's been added on top of it.
That lazy farmer owes us a power cell. Let's go talk to him.
You gotta bring in the crops for the generator. Ah, well done, my boy. You actually got those flea bags back into the pen. Now I can sleep in peace. Take this power cell for your trouble.
Okie doke. First power cell. Well, kind of. It's our 5th power cell, considering the tutorial area, but, you know, it's our first power cell when we're in the real game.
Wow! Check out that funky sculpture sitting on the rocks over there.
Yeah, we're gonna go take a look at it. Just give me a second. Six. Where's the 7th
This
one?
must be a precursor oracle like the sage always goes on about.
Who awakens the oracle?
I love this, though. The person who was voicing the Oracle must have been hurting his throat something fierce because they didn't opt to reuse this voice for the 3rd game.
Present to me 120 precursor orbs for each power cell I contain.
Of course, we can't go too far out into the water. Ah, even though Jack can swim, which beats out his platformer contemporaries substantially. Take that, Sly and Ratchet. You guys, well, Ratchet can swim. He can't dive. Sly just can't swim at all. I don't know what his problem is. The classic Dr. Claw voice. Yeah, exactly. It must have been killing his vocal cords, though. Alright, found all the scout flies. And let's get ourselves the, There we go. Love those things. Okay. Kind of annoying, on my first playthrough, I did what Samos suggested, and I went to Sentinel Beach. Well, hold on, Daxter. I went to Sentinel Beach first, because that's where he said he wanted me to go, because we've got the vents, right? But if you go there, there's actually a few things you can't do right away, so every time I play the game, I always go to Forbidden Jungle first. Wonder why it's called Forbidden Jungle, and Misty Island is not forbidden. Master Thief of Incredible Agility. Water is a complete no-go, right? Like, none of them can swim. Not even Murray, and he's a hippo. Anyway, you can see pretty much every enemy in the game, like this snake even, is a lurker. That's incredible. I don't know why, it's just the world is inhabited with, like, everything is part of this dark eco-creatures. One down point I will say is the health system. Not really sure what they were thinking with it. Most of the time it's easier to just die, and to be fair, I do die pretty often in this game. More than I would like, at least. Because it's just really convenient sometimes. But then you need to collect 50 little green pieces of eco to get a health point, and you're likely going to lose another piece of health before you even do that. 50 seems like much. I think 25 would have been fine, but hey, that's me. I thought it was a snake. No, you can see that the bottom jaw of those snakes are lurkers. Every enemy in the game has the lurker mouth. Yeah, see? It's got the little protrusions sticking out of it. It really wasn't conveyed well then. I mean, they told you about lurker sharks. You go out into the ocean and the lurker shark prevents you from progressing. This frog is a lurker. It's got the orange eyes and it's got the mouth thing. Let me see the fish. Yeah, that fish is a lurker. They just look like snakes and fish to me. The thing that to look out for is the mouth. Look at that. Look at the mouth on this guy. He's the general lurker. See the massive white underbite with the protrusion sticking out of it? That's on every enemy. And that seems to indicate that they're lurkers. Yeah. The frog over there has the same massive underbite. Have you played the fishing game on hard mode? I don't know. Is that normally in the game, or is that something that, like, is a mod or something? Because if it's a mod, then no, I have not. That was the other nightmare achievements. You enter a code next to the guy. Oh, okay. No, I haven't done it. Might as well, might as well go do the fishing game.
What do you have in the basket?
Nothing to talk about. Them monsters patrolling the ocean took a bite out of me fishing rig. And now they're gobbling up me catch. No matter what I try, I can't seem to catch a single fish in this river.
Woo! Maybe it's your breath.
You think you can do better? Try scooping up river fish with a tiny net. I'll give you a power cell if you can catch 200 pounds of them critters. And then
200 pounds of fish.
To get to Misty Island. You want to try the challenge?
Sure.
There are two types of good fish to catch.
So, also, you know, they also pointed out here, the regular fish don't have the underbite.
Miss 20 pounds of good fish, then I'm gonna take me net back from you. There are poisonous eels.
And they're the eels. They're lurkers. Left, left, right, right, left, right. Okay. I'll try that. £200.
Here comes a big one.
I'll give it one go around, but if I don't complete it, I'm not going to sit here and try to make sure I get the whole thing.
Steady, boy.
Whoops.
Here comes a big one.
You know, at this point, I think I just lifted out of the water.
Hold steady! Almost there. Looks like you could use a bigger net. You did it!
There we go.
You caught 200 pounds of fish! Not bad for a couple of landlubbers. Here's the power cell I promised. And you can use my
All right,
boat.
left, left, right, right, left, left, right, X. Got it. Let's try it. Did it? How do I know if it worked?
Want to try and beat the river, do ya?
Ah!
Here comes a big one. Steady, boy.
Well, we're halfway.
Here comes a big one. Steady, boy.
Oh, how many pounds am I catching?
Missed. To the left. Here comes a big one. Your sails are sagging in the wind, boy. Steady, boy. Your sails are sagging in the wind, boy.
As long as you can last. I see.
Here comes a big one. Your sails are sagging.
Well, I guess I did fail, but how long does it go for?
Well, if you want to try for the power cell sometime, you know where to find me.
I had to get 700 for the achievement. Oh, okay, so it's just endless. Fair enough. Hey, I got to 400. That's not bad. That's double the original amount. Anyway, I already got the power cell, so don't know what he's talking about. Yeah. I mean, that's what he said originally. You miss 20 pounds of fish, and he's gonna take the net away. And if you catch a single lurker fish, or lurker eel, rather. Ow.
I was right behind you, Jack! Really? I was.
They took those out of Jack 2, but they brought him back for Jack 3, so... Right, I forgot. You can hit those. Ow. I wonder what their plans were for this series going forward, had they decided not to change direction. I wonder, like, the ending of this game is, you know, leaves... We know what they found if you do the 100% ending now, but, you know, in the end of the game, I wonder what their plan was. Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, he says pretty much he probably died, and it's like, oh, so he's coming back, and he probably would have, if it wasn't, you know, for the complete direction shift. He probably would have stayed the series' main villain, given that he's, you know, the master of Dark Eco. But no, they decided, they figured, yeah, let's punish Jack for 2 years straight. Saves the world from the Metalhead invasion. Huh. You know, that's kind of an interesting premise. Probably a little bit hackneyed, but interesting.
Let's get up on that machine and break the mirror diverting the precursor beam.
I also wonder what their plans were for the precursors initially, if they even had any.
Doohickeys scattered all over the jungle must redirect the eco beam. Let's go fiddle with them. Line up the beam by pointing it at the next tower. Hey, we can follow the beam to find the next tower.
Oh, right. I'll get a couple of these. There we go. This level, this area of the game, is infamous for having a bunch of precursor orbs that are the meanest precursor orb location in the entire game, and I don't know why they set it up that way. We'll get to it in a minute, but oh my goodness.
Let's go to the next tower and reconnect the beam there.
Where did it go? How did I not remember which one? Oh, this one. Alright, just up here. But I've replayed this one, I've replayed tons of times. The other two games I've replayed only because I was streaming them. I mean, I don't know, I would say this game is a lot more replayable. And I honestly couldn't tell you between which one, Jak 2 or 3, I think is better. I generally think Jak 2 has a much stronger foundation. Like, I think the fact that you only have 4 guns was a good thing for that game. Jak 3 really overloads the amount of weapons you have, and while it is fun to mess around with them, it's killer on the balance.
Tell that windbag of a mayor that he owes us big time for connecting the village energy beam.
I mean, also, Jak 3 is way shorter than Jak 2 by a significant margin, despite having a technically larger map. Alright, now we can go inside.
If Blue Eco can build a bridge, then I bet it'll open a door.
Okay.
Let's go back and get you juiced up again.
Forgot to get Eco.
We need to get to the top of that tower.
6, huh? 7th one's probably inside. There we go. All right.
Yeah, so we got a precursor launcher here, but you aren't powered up with the blue stuff. So it ain't gonna help us!
I understand how precursor technology works, Daxter. I don't believe I need you to tell me how this stuff functions. In fact, I'm pretty sure most people at this point would be figuring it out, considering you needed to use Blue Eco. You hit the mean ones yet? Oh, it's coming up. It's right here, actually. Well, as in this area, not, like, right here, but give me a second. Anyway, Blue Eco Vent turned on.
Wow, did you see that? Blue Eco Vents have been activated all over the world. I knew there was a way to turn them on. There must be places to turn on the other Eco Vents as well.
Interestingly, despite the yellow Eco Vent being pretty far in the game, hello? Hello? Okay, well that's a new one. Can't say I've ever seen that before. Yeah, that's never had that one happen to me before. Well, those weren't the mean ones. Probably an issue with the decomp then. Oh, well. That's what I get for trying to go fast. I'm surprised that there was no checkpoint inside that it decided to use. It must have thought I fell outside somehow. What experience could Daxter possibly have in regards to precursors? Maybe Samos told him. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. And one of only, like, 3 bosses in the whole game. And these bugs are lurkers, too. The plant's a lurker. I mean, at the end of the area, it's just in the middle. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it is at the end of, like... It is kind of at the end of, like, an obstacle course you had to do to get here. So... And it spits you back out to, like, the beginning of the area again, so, hey. And that's it. Apparently he was choking the life around here. Anyway, the meanest precursor orbs in the entire game. After you kill him, you gotta jump on him a few times. Why in the world would anyone think to do that? Well, we got them all. And I think we got everything. Guess I always just did that for fun. I mean, it's like... I don't know. Did I get everything? Yeah, okay. I got everything. I mean, when I played this game for the first time, I didn't want to use a guide initially. So I was like, where the heck is... You know, where the heck are these, last 5 precursor orbs? And I'm not expecting to go back and have to jump on that guy.
Gift, another power cell is yours.
Same as the Lives Easter egg Crash 2, but that wasn't mandatory. Do you think that was the intention?
You have proven yourself worthy. Here is a power cell.
Alright, well now we only got 10, so... Yeah, the plant in... Yeah, the plant that's in,
Let's go check out old
what is it? The plant that's in Samos's hut is pretty much the same as the Crash plants.
Oh, what a wonderful sight! I thank you. And the entire village will thank me. Boys, you have restored power to the village and guaranteed my re-election.
Who's running against you? There's like 8 people in this town.
A power cell.
Counting me and Daxter. Alright, let's go to Sentinel Beach first, and then we'll wrap it up with Misty Island. Sure, why not? We can we can engage in a little bureaucracy as a treat. Hermit crabs are also lurkers. My goodness. Ow.
All right, treasure.
Might as well ask. Do we let the pelican live?
All right, more orbs. Hey, that pelican just snagged a power cell. Let's go kick some big.
Those bombs must be very light. Not even a bonk. Yeah. Alright, can they hit me here? Okay, they can. Just this one's just sitting out. Get the bot out of here. Anyways. Lurker dogs. Sure is convenient that only the 7th scout fly we open always seems to be the one that has the scout fly that has the precursor or power cell. Gosh. I'm messing up my words so badly here.
Well, I see that you two have finally decided to unblock my collectors. I would offer my congratulations, but you have so much to do, I won't waste your time.
Samos kind of has a Cranky Kong arc in this game.
Daxter could always get a job controlling the village rat problem.
Although, unlike Cranky, Samos actually...
Punch those poles out from below.
You always thought the other model looked older? I mean, he has more hair. Well, in any... I mean, it's also really... Actually, Samos is really funny to me as an example of, like... a character that is in, like, the older games, right? He's in the first one, and he's grandfathered into the rest of them when everyone else has, like, more realistic designs. His skin's flipping green, and, like, it kind of doesn't matter.
Hey, seagulls! Let's buzz them for kicks.
This is actually a precursor, a power cell that took me some time to figure out what I was supposed to do. Okay, nothing over here. Another one just sitting out. How did the birds do that?
Wow! They caused an avalanche! Let's check it out!
First, we gotta kill the pelican. Unfortunately, you've stolen my precursor orbs, and you've stolen my power cell that I wanted. And for that, you must unfortunately perish.
Ooh, let's use the cannon to blow things up!
Okay. Give this one a nice shot. Alright, first things first, I need to...
Get some! Get some!
There we go. Now for the pelican. There we go. I don't know how many people actually tried doing that, but as soon as I found out I could do it, believe me, I was doing it every single run. Whoa, 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 lurker sharks. Did you hear that Microsoft has decided to basically leave the console business? I mean, the Xbox is fine as a brand, but seems as though the consoles themselves just don't sell. And I mean, yeah, I don't think people are going to buy them if really it all comes down to exclusives. I think that's the main thing people want to buy a console for. What games can I play on it, right? And that's why Pokemon is always a console seller, because they want to play the thing that has Pokemon on it. If Pokemon was available on the Xbox, I imagine some people wouldn't have bothered to buy a Switch at all. This is going to be a bit of a...
Are you near the egg yet? That's it. Just a little further.
Nice.
Push the egg off the cliff. Oh my, that wasn't gentle. Careful. Easy does it. Good job. Now meet me down here by the egg.
But you said that you put some hay down there. Also, I'm pretty sure...
You might want to talk to the bird watcher and see if we scrambled that Flut egg.
You know, I wonder if this is Sega's time to come back into the console business. I do remember when Atari was saying that. I don't even know. See, I figured it wasn't going to be like a brand spanking new, like, full-on console, but more of something akin to, you know, one of those plug-and-plays. Like they've always been doing, you know? But, I guess they did. I don't know. Remember the KFC console? Where it had a compartment for... Did that ever come out? It had a compartment for keeping your chicken hot? Really misleading advertising.
Oh my! I hope the poor dear's okay. Here's a power cell for your battery.
Wasn't it an April Fool? Was it an April Fool? I guess I don't remember.
Oh no! No!
Look, isn't that cute? It thinks you're
Let me check.
its mama.
Ah! I'm not your mom! You see any feathers here?
Oh, love at first sight. Listen, boys, I'll take this
No,
lady
you
back
can-
to the village with me and work with the sage to take care of her.
Where do I buy this? Well, the website for it is still up, and it appears to not be an April Fool's Day joke. But it also looks like it never came out, so I guess, because, like, I mean, let's be real, who would use that thing? One thing I kind of wanted to come out was the Intellivision Amico. Oh my goodness, the Amico looked like it was going to be really funny. We're missing a couple pounds. Oh, I know where they are.
Auga! Auga! Dive for those orbs, Jack! Dive!
Seemed to be, yeah, but it seemed to be working on by this company called Cooler Master. I don't know if they've done anything else. Oh, right, there's a bunch of orbs back here. But I'm missing a few. 8. Well, just do a quick once-over then. Couldn't be that hard to find them. Nope. Let's see, anything in there? Nah, nothing in there. Excuse me, I don't need lurker sharks alerting me. Then where could these last precursor orbs be? I'll just keep a lookout, I guess. Retrace my steps. Oh, wait. They were probably... Maybe? Maybe they were up here. nothing here. Was there a precursor? Oh, there might have been a precursor, like, cache that I missed. There's one over there. 8. Where is it? Wow, never had this problem before. Well, I'm flummoxed. Unless it was down here? No. This place isn't that big. I can't imagine that they're just... like, there's just a big cache of them somewhere that I just didn't think about. Guess I'll keep looking. They're not underwater, are they? Oh my gosh, they might be underwater. Oh, there they are. 4. Ah, okay. I knew I missed them somewhere. Whoa! What did I just do there? There we go. Okay. Now, off to Misty Island. And we'll make a stop by Jack's uncle and the mayor. No, just one of those places. Also, if you don't rescue the Flut here,
Good. You've collected enough power cells to fuel my heat.
if you don't rescue the Flut, you don't get access to the Flut later.
Climbing the cliff behind the farmer's house. Bring the power cells and hurry. My father says he's seen more lurkers around.
We'll worry about that later.
So, you want to make a contribution? Good. A sizable one, I hope. Yeah. Oh, it is a sizable contribution. I just hope this power cell adequately represents my gratitude.
All right.
Hurry up with those power cells. I'm waiting at the head of Fire Canyon.
I know.
At the top of the cliff behind the farmer's house.
I know. Just... Alright, give me a second. I'm going to Misty Island. I've always wondered, what is this secondary green sun that this world apparently has at night? There's a regular yellow sun during the day, but there's a green one that appears at night. How do people want these orbs anyway? I assume they're currency. Because he says, because Jack's uncle says he needs it to, like, fund his expeditions. The mayor says he needs it to fund his re-election campaign, so...
This place gives me the creeps! And trust me, it's a whole new experience when you're covered in fuzz!
There's the Muse.
I see the sculptor's muse.
Knock the bone over. Oh, there we go. Excellent. Ooh. That was actually pretty easy to catch the Muse. Normally it gives me the whole runaround. Ah, okay, so I actually can kill it. Hang on a second. A few over here. This place can be a little mean with some of the placement of the precursor orbs.
Don't fall into the mist below us.
Not planning on it. Well, I almost fell into the mist, so I guess eggs on my face. Okay. 1, 2, 3. This should be enough. There we are. I might as well do the arena first. I usually find myself waiting on the arena. I wonder who did the voice of Jack in this game. Because it's not the guy who voiced him in the rest of the series. I do think it's cool that when they added the guns in the second game, they kept their color coding based on each of the 4 eco types pretty intact. The red eco, as useless as it is in this game, upped Jack's power. The blue eco and resulted in, the shotgun. The blue eco allowed him to go faster, so he gets a rapid fire gun. The yellow eco is projectile that you get, so it turns into a sniper.
Watch your back. We remember what happened the last time we were here.
Then of course there's dark eco, which became the Peacemaker.
It's an ambush. Get the red eco. Red eco makes your attacks stronger.
Most of the time, red eco is pretty useless, so in order for it to be worth it, they gotta really just put you into an arena, and that's kind of the only way it can be useful. I mean, the nice thing about it is that it gives your ground pound a shockwave, which can be helpful. And it lets you kill enemies that take 2 hits with 1 hit. Unfortunately, I can't make the... We can't make the lurkers up there shoot the bag over by the eco boxes, so I still have to come back down here.
This place gives me the willies. Let's keep you out of the ooze, okay?
Interestingly, this game has light eco in the final boss, but then they never touch upon the topic again until Jak 3. Go. I mean, heck, in Jak 3, light eco is so unbelievably broken. Not the least of which because they give you light eco like all the time, and there's a thing you can use to heal yourself. One thing I do like about this game, though, is that they always, no matter where you are, they always make sure that you can see where other places are in relation to it. In fact, in the final area of the game, you can see all the way back to the beginning. I love when games do that. Really makes it help feel more interconnected, you know? Done this so many times. But what can I say? I like a platformer where... I like a collectathon where they don't ask much of you except to go out and do it. Alright, let's head up this way. Another scout fly. Ow. Only can do this no problem. Well, at least they stop throwing logs when you get close.
Wipe that ridiculous grin off your face, Daxter. The two of you have plenty to do. Get on with it.
Huh. What's pretty funny to me, I think, about this is this little bit here. They were trying to open this silo and flood the world with dark eco, which they do later. But if that means that if we weren't here, that if we hadn't decided to specifically go against Samos's orders and go out, they would have probably done that. No, I wonder how Jak and Daxter would have fared as a TV show. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it probably wouldn't have been anything special. Maybe, I mean, if it had, like, proper arcs, it could have been something real interesting, but I just don't think these characters are interesting enough to make, like, a full, you know, a full serialized version of them. I was just kind of hoping the problem would solve itself. Yeah. Aren't we all? Okay, now we got some lurkers to take care of.
Let's plow into those balloon lurkers and shred them!
Jumped a little too early. It happens. I love the zoomer. I don't know, I just love its design. It's just a really fun contraption. Kinda gives me, Nausicaa vibes, just without all the bugs. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. There we go. Oh, cool. I think Jak actually has his goggles on right now. Oh, okay, never mind, he doesn't. In 2, I know he does actually use his goggles to help aim. But not so much in this first one, I think. Well, I tried. Oh my gosh, come on. Yeah, I took out a lurker to vent my frustration. There we go. Alright, now we can start working on the rest of these bozos. Easy peasy. Oh, we got them all. Cool. I bet Kira's going to remind me again about what to do with the with the power cells when we go back to town.
Good! You stopped all the mind-dropping lurkers. They've been threatening the waters around our village for weeks. Bring your zoomer back to the transpad and I'll teleport it back.
Transpad, I knew it. They were trying to indoctrinate them forever. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I find it interesting that even though they in PlayStation All-Stars, they bothered to make Jax's moveset based around Jak 3. That makes sense, right? It was the last mainline game in the series, although Jak X did continue the story.
You saved her! Oh, you really are the best. Here, take this power cell. I won't need it now that I have my inspiration back.
And where was I going? All right, yeah, excuse me. They based Jak's moveset off of Jak 3. Makes sense, right? That's where the last big game was in the series. That's the one people know and are familiar with. Makes a lot of sense. But the stage is Sandover Village. I guess they decided that this game in its environments were way more iconic than anything from Jak 2 or 3. Although I would have expected it to be Haven City, considering how important that location is and that Jak is supposedly the ruler of it. Well, no. Well, he's supposedly the ruler of it, but then he's also the king of Spargus. Yeah, there's the Metalhead invasion on the Twisted Metal stage. Alright, we good here? Geyser Rock, Sandover Village, Sentinel Beach, Forbidden Jungle, Misty Island. Bada bing, bada boom. We're good. Alright. Time to head over to Fire Canyon. Ow. I've often thought about the concept of those crossover stage ideas for Smash.
The shield will only protect your zoomer till it reaches 500 degrees.
It's a pretty cool idea, especially if you can come up with something interesting for the stages to cross over with. Unfortunately, I don't think that PlayStation All-Stars did it very well, because most of the time it seems like the crossover completely changes the stage you're fighting on, which is which is kind of a shame if you want to like have a set of stages you guys play on.
Then we'll be able to teleport over and meet you. Good luck.
But it's not a platformer it's not a platform fighter in the traditional sense. The way you get kills in PlayStation All-Stars is so different.
There's scoutflies out here too. See if we can catch air off those lurkers.
I'm impressed that the lurkers are somehow capable of surviving this. Right next to this village, there's a gigantic lava tunnel.
Use the hop turn to steer harder.
Nice. What about his moveset makes you say it's Jak 3 specifically? He has all the gun mods from Jak 3. His appearance is based off of Jak 3. He has the anti-grav, he's got the anti-grav gun, he's got the automatic sentry turret, he's got the shockwave from the shotgun. It's Jak 3. And he's also wearing the Jak 3 Mar armor.
I don't think I'll ever get used to that teleporter tingling sensation. Hey! It looks like the Blue Sage threw a party.
Oh my! Rock Village is on fire!
One heck of a party.
No, I mean Rock Village is being bombarded with flaming boulders.
I love that lurker. His name is Claw. What a really cool design.
Like the Blue Sage is working
Also,
on a
Jak is
replication
totally
machine
checking
to
out
fuel
Kira's
it.
butt.
Assuming it's operational, we're gonna need power cells to fuel it. I guess you two are going to have to find some more.
We'd better take a look at his notes. Jak, go check on the villagers, then come back and give us an update. And take the furball with you.
Apparently, the precursor structure just off the coast leads to an underwater lost city. The Blue Sage has been trying to figure out how he can bring one of the chambers to the surface, but he was never successful. You should check it out.
Aren't there a lot of lurker sharks in that water?
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Of course not. Just looking out for Jak here. You know what a chicken he can be.
Well, if you swim out over
I
the
never saw
bowl,
this
I doubt
cutscene.
the lurker sharks will bother you. They don't like shallow water.
Well, the situation here stinks worse than a lurker's armpit. Before Blue Sage's disappearance, he journaled significant trouble in all of the surrounding areas. Of particular interest to me is the dark eco-infection of some innocent plants in the Precursor Basin. Kira will teleport your Agrav Zoomer to the nearest transpad. Ride the Zoomer to a green eco vent, and then carry the green eco to the corrupted plants. That should heal them. Don't miss a single plant, or the infected ones will slowly reinfect the healthy ones.
Wow, he's just telling you how to do one of the
Daxter,
missions.
start cleaning up in here, and don't forget the corners.
Corners. Okay, so there's... Alright, I guess I'll start with the Precursor Basin.
Until we find out why the Blue Sage disappeared, you're going to need to collect...
Oh wait, no, never mind. I need to
fuel
talk
this
to...
machine. Go get 'em.
I need to talk to the Gambler first before I go to Precursor Basin. And I want to talk to the Warrior.
Oh, my aching head.
I thought that's one of your vital organs. Walk it off, tough guy.
Oh, sure, I was tough once. Maybe even the toughest of them all. I single-handedly defended this village from those horrid creatures for almost a year. Then that horrible monster arrived and commenced the boulder bombardment. So, full of valor, armor shining in the sun, I climbed the hill to take him on. But he pounded me like one tenderizes a Yakao steak.
Have you tried attacking him with your melodrama? Cause it's killing me.
After my last stunning failure, he sealed the passageway to his roost with a 30-ton boulder, leaving no way for anyone to challenge him again. So, our sage, a master of blue eco and a mechanical genius, devised a machine capable of lifting the boulder out of the way.
How do you know how much the boulder weighs? I don't know. It's about a boulder-sized boulder.
We had a chance to
Should be able to handle it.
And he took all of his power cells with him. At least I was able to pull enough pontoons out of our bridge to prevent that monster from coming down here to do me
30
harm.
tons specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, tough guy. But we're gonna need you to put him back and stuff.
Oh, sure. And seal my doom? All right. Fine. Bring me 90 precursor orbs and I'll let the pontoons loose. But I'm not going to fight that monster again.
90 precursor orbs. A paywall. So that means if you were doing the challenge to not collect more than 25 of these things, you couldn't pay this guy.
Wonderful. You brought me the precursor orbs. All right. I'll fix the bridge. But don't ask me to get involved with that creature again.
Alright, well.
Nah, not another hero. I lost my shorts on this so-called hero's big fight against the monster up there. Trust me, the smart money's on the monster. That wager pretty much tapped me out. So, I got a proposal. Bring me 90 orbs to get me back on my feet and out of this barrel, and I'll give you a power cell in return. And if you're game, I do have one more bet online. My big comeback. Beat the record time.
Give me 90 orbs and you'll join my OnlyFans. Then the barrel comes off. Please. I'll pay you 90 orbs to keep the barrel on.
Oh, yeah. These orbs will help me win my way back out of this barrel. Here's the power cell, I promise.
Oh, gosh. I don't... Alright. Let's not think about where that was. Alright, so the pontoons are back. And we've got the race open, so we'll take care of that in a minute. Alright, so the precursor basin is where I'm starting. Oh, if I remember correctly. Aha! I need to do this. Hold on. Don't mind that. Cat's in here. Not Saucy, it's one of her buddies.
Interesting. You two look like a couple of capable fellows. I've got a research project going, and maybe you could help me out.
Hey, we're the ones on a big quest here. We ask you for help.
Well, perhaps we can help each other. I've been studying the burrowing habits of lightning moles in the precursor basin next to our village for years. But now those awful lurkers have scared the moles to the surface. And since they're blind as bats, they can't find their way back underground. If you could herd them back into their burrowing tunnels, you might just save their lives. I've got a power cell that says you can do it.
Yeah, lightning moles. We can.
She is pretty normal, yeah.
Maybe for 2 power cells.
Nice try. But I would be willing to part with another power cell if you two find me 90 precursor orbs for my research equipment. Fair enough? Good luck, boys.
Yeah, it's pretty much a currency.
That's one of those flying lurkers. He might have a power cell.
Oh, I can imagine how bad it would be to do this without getting any orbs at all. Sorry, don't mind that cat.
Do me a favor and keep away from those dark eco boxes! Let's go get our power cell from the geologist.
Wait, she's not even a biologist? She's a geologist? Okay, sure.
Trust me, those dark eco boxes are bad news! One ring down, a bunch to go. Those must be the infested plants old Lognoggin was talking about.
You'll have to pardon the lack of dialogue for a little bit. What with this cat being here, I don't want him to constantly annoy all of you. So until he goes, he's with me. Since you were trying to get all the orbs, Zelrog, what was the hardest level to get to avoid them? Rather, to avoid all the orbs. Ooh, yeah, especially in Gollin Maya's Citadel at the end, where you gotta do those big jumps that have all of the precursor orbs waiting. That one looks a bit like a dark eco plant too. Guess it's not that dark.
You keep on impressing me. But then maybe it's just because I've got low expectations. Okay, your moment of gloating is over.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
on with it.
The old windbag. What a lovely fellow, huh? Yeah, the only people that matter in this world all live in this tiny little group.
Good flying! Those lurkers were no match for your Zoomer. That's one more power cell.
This cat's becoming an issue. He doesn't meow like he's supposed to. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Meows. Hey. An old man. He just kind of goes, meh. I'm hearing that constantly while my mic is muted.
You've got to fly through each ring before they turn off.
Almost had it too. Ah, thank you, Dev, for following. Sorry, I'm not talking much right now. There's a very loud cat in here. Hear that? There we go. Alright. Now we're done with the precursor basin. And I think this is probably where I want to stop. Well, yeah, because we've got 2 more levels, a boss fight. Yeah. We'll stop here, I think. I think Battle Network 2, there's one for never fleeing the whole playthrough. They nullified one of the best additions. Well, hey, you'll live, I'm sure. What's the achievement called? I'm sure they make a reference to the fact that you couldn't do it in the first game. Ooh, wait, forgot to do the race. Listen to that thing. Well, that's ominous. It's a bit of an ominous failure sound.
beat the record time!
Goodness, the whole time your hand vibrates when you're in the zoomer.
those moles. That's awfully good of you. Here's a power cell to help you out. Now I can get back to my research. Oh, you have the orbs. Here's a power cell we agreed upon.
Oh, great moves, kid. I knew that time record would fall. Now here's your power cell, and I can go collect my big payoff.
Interesting.
Beware of the dark light, for it has twisted the fate.
Dark light, huh? What does dark light mean?
120 precursor orbs for each power cell I contain. Here is another power cell for your quest.
Alright, I think we'll leave it there for today. You guys can deal with the cat meowing for a little while longer, can't you? We'll be back with more of Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy tomorrow, and I gotta say, I am having a blast. Just like always, though. This game is always very fun to go through. And very important to this channel because it was pretty much the first game I ever streamed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, wow. I mean, I'll be talking a lot more about what's changed with this channel tomorrow as I continue this playthrough. So I hope I'll see some of you guys there. But in the meantime, have a very good afternoon and a good night. And